Hey, welcome back. So I take it you clicked on the link that I left for you, or maybe you just found it through the search engine. Either way, welcome to my channel. I'm Frank Atwood. Today's tutorial is going to be on creating what I call higher thirds. And the reason why I term it higher thirds is because YouTube, in its infinite wisdom of catering to customers who maybe their English is, not so good. It's not their first language. Okay, that's what I mean to say, not so good, but not their first language. But they understand it well enough that if they can read it, then they can understand what you're saying. A lot of people have dialects, different dialects here in the United States. Some have Southern drawl, some have the Northern accent, Boston, Maine, those other places like that. And it's a little bit hard for people to understand sometimes. So they put closed captions on there just to make it that much easier. So rather than put your lower thirds in there or utilize the ones in Filmora, which is what I edit with, you're going to have to remember to put it above where the closed captions would be. So right about the middle of the screen or at the top, which is what we're going to do in this video today. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the software and get started. Okay, you got that really great thumbnail, right, that we did on the last tutorial. And now you want to lower thirds. So you can create a design, and you can use any of these. It doesn't have to be anything perfect because you're just going to be doing whatever. You could do a logo if you wanted. But you can just take the basic layout and then you could just copy and paste some of your elements. Go to your uploads folder and you can copy and paste some of these elements on here and make anything you want. You could grab something like this, drag it on there, move it around. I'm going to crop it just because I don't want it to be have that much white space all the way around it. I'm trying to make it a little bit easier to control and put next to things without having to. On the last video, the handles were overlapping on each other and it just made it difficult. So let's crop this today. So you can put this here and say, you know what, I like the look of that. It looks pretty good. Let's add a photo in here. Let's get a good photo, one that's clear. I'm going to use this photo because I think it's appropriate, right? And then you can put like some text in here. You can make your own text, and you can do just like YouTube does. You can have it say YouTube. This is your custom, and once again, instead of it being a lower thirds, it's going to be a higher thirds. Obviously, we don't want. I'm going to use Lato. I think that's a good font for this. So we use Lato. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of clean looking. And you can put the font up here. You can stretch it out a little bit if you need to. Just click on the handle. Come on, handle. Oh, great. Grammarly's getting in my way. Anyway, I don't want you, Grammarly. There we go. So you could stretch it out like this, or just make it smaller. However you want to do it. Add another heading. You could say channel. Oops, channel. No, channel. Right? Same thing. Let's change the font. Let's go back to Lato. So YouTube channel, right? That looks pretty decent. You can use the arrow keys if you want to move it over a little bit. Same thing with this one. Move it over a little bit. If you think your photo is too big, you can shrink it down. It's whatever you want to do. Actually, I'm going to crop around my photo because it is a little bit harder to, like I said, position it next to other elements when you have so much space around it. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I can put this closer. Yeah, and then I can grab the handle and shrink it a little bit if I need to. I think I'll line it up on that. You can do it like this, YouTube channel, and then you put your name, right? So then you can type your name. So you can make it like that. Once again, try and keep the font the same so it looks decent. There we go. And you can have it like that, or you can even put it underneath you. You can do it like this if you want. Put this in the center. If you want to shrink everything down, right? Put your name right up underneath you. That looks pretty good too. Shrink that down. Keep it centered. And I'm going to grab these two elements together. I'm going to shrink them both at the same time. No, I guess it's not going to let me shrink them both. That's fine. Shrink it down a little bit. Put that right above me. YouTube channel, and then you can do it like this. How about this? You can do it like this. That would look pretty good too. So we can make it fit on there just by playing with this, grabbing the handles and shrinking everything, and then line it up using our arrow keys because we want it to be somewhat lined up. Grab the whole thing. I like that. There you go. So it's right above it. If this is too big, shrink that a little bit. You can do it like this. So now you get your channel art, right? If your name's a little too big, shrink it down a little bit. Make everything kind of, that looks kind of cool. I think the name's still a little too big. There we go. And now everything's clear, easy to read. So you could do something like this, and then you can make it one element if you just drag and group everything, right? Right click, oops, sorry about that. We'll grab everything. I still think that that's a little big. I think it was, there we go, right on the center line. There we go, YouTube channel, Frank Atwood. I like that. And now I can just drag everything together like that. It highlights it, and then I hit group. Now I have a single element, right? So what I like to do is just put it in the center, right? And then I'll download that. So you can download this as a PNG. It's free. All we did was found like the, I just put YouTube custom higher thirds, because remember, YouTube loves to have closed captioning on your videos. Okay, so that's downloaded. We can close out of that. We're done with it. Open up Paint. If you have it on your Microsoft Windows computer, you just type in the word Paint and it should show up. P-A-I-N-T. Boom, there it is. I've used it, so it's showing up quite a bit. You can click on Paint, open it up, and it'll give you this here. Then you can just find out where you downloaded that to, right? Whichever one you want. I created one earlier like this. You can do it like this if you like that better. For this example, that one's gonna show up in here anyway, but I'm gonna show the one we just created because we just made that new one. And I think we put it in one of these folders here. There, is that it right there? No, that one's just Frank Atwood. It says subscribe. I wanted the one we just created, and that one is not on there. Which folder did it save it to? I hate when this happens. Boy, that's such a pain in the butt. No. No, it didn't save it to there either. Okay, so I need to go to the internet again, and we need to go to downloads. Where did you download it to? Downloads. There we go, show in folder. There we go. All right, so we're just gonna drag this onto the desktop like that. There we go, that's easier. Okay, so sorry about that. And then you just open up your video editor. I'm using Filmora 10, sorry about that, version 10.5.6. As I've said before, it's one of the easiest and best video editing software that I've ever used. I've used it for about 5 years now, and I really love it. And I think you will too. Yeah, it costs $70, but you know what? You pay one time, and then you have it for the rest of your life. So it would behoove you to get Filmora. I think it's well worth the money, and you probably will too. Oh, wait a second, we're skipping a step. Okay, so before we import that custom thing here, we want to open it up in Paint, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Paint, we're going to go Open, we're going to go to the desktop, we're going to get that same piece because we want to crop it. We don't want it that big. We're going to open that up, boom, there it is. And then we're going to use our crop tool, and we're just going to grab around it, make it oblong, whatever, and we're just going to hit the word crop, and there we go. And then we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to do a PNG. And then we're going to say, yep, that's the one we want. Save it, yes. Replace it, we know, yep, okay. Close out of that, and there it is. Now we're going to import it into Filmora. So now we have it. Now, to make this custom lower thirds, we're going to add this. We're going to put this down here on the video track above it. We just created a new video track. All we do is drag and drop. You can go in here and add a track, or right click on here and add a track, or you can just drag it. That's what's so easy and so great about this software. Actually, I'm going to put on the video track above that because I'm going to use a sample color for this track right here. We're going to click a sample color, and I'm going to use green because I want this to be the background color. And so it's going to show up like this, and then you can reposition it and shrink it, right? Remember what I said about it's going to have your closed captioning down here? So make it a higher thirds, right? Make it pop out up here. Frank Atwood, right? YouTube channel. Oops, I guess I cut off the name, didn't I? Oh, that wasn't good. Let's see if we can't fix that. So we'll delete that. And then let's go back to, how did we do that? We cropped it out. Close that. Let's open up Paint again. Wow, we screwed that up, didn't we? Paint app, your custom higher thirds. There we go. Control Z. No, it's not going to let us do it. Is it below it? No, it's not. Oh, well, we can just add the text right here. If you don't pay attention when you're cropping, you can mess it up. So I can add my text, and you get the idea. We screwed that up. Sorry about that. And that looks good. File. I'm just going to leave it like that because it's just an example. Save as PNG picture. Yep. Yes. We're going to replace it. Yep. Okay. There we go. We don't really need it to be transparent. So what we're going to do now is import that back in, right? We just click File, Import Media, and then we're going to pull it right back in. All right, now we can drag that down on top of the green layer. So now I can shrink this down because I just want it to pop out. You don't want it to be too small either. You can make it as big or as little as you want. This is just an example to show you what's possible. All right, I'm going to put it up, yeah, right about there, I guess. And I'll make it just a little bit bigger. Okay, so you can have something like this that pops out if you want. You can be different. You don't have to be the same as everyone else. So what you can do then is we're going to animate this. So what I want to do is I want to click on this. We'll double click on it. And then we have all these different functions up here. And what we want is animations. So we're going to click the animations tab. We're going to do customize, okay? And then we're going to let this play and we'll count 1001, 1002, and we'll stop it. Oops, sometimes it doesn't stop when you want it to. 1001, and we'll stop right there. And I'm going to add a keyframe right here. And then I'm going to back it up by using my arrow keys. My left arrow key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to take and adjust it. So what I can do is change the position of where it was. And I'm just going to have it scroll all the way over here. And hit OK. And see what happens with that. See if it animates it the way I want it to. Boom. Pops back in. And if I don't need it to be on there that long, what I can do, so we can count. You can see basically how long do you want it on here for. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and then it goes off automatically. Okay, so you see how that works, right? Now, this is sample footage just so you can see it on top of it. If you're going to render this out and keep this, make certain you delete the sample footage. But I want to show you what it looks like with the sample footage. And one of the things that we have to do is click on the green screen part, and then what you're going to do is go back to Image, and you're going to click Chroma Key, because that you want to get rid of the green screen. And sometimes it automatically does it like it just did there. Or sometimes you got to use the eyedropper and click the green. It did it automatically. That's what I like about the updated version of Filmora. So it already knows what I'm trying to do. Then I click OK. And then what I can do now is play it through. There it is. And it goes off after it reaches the end right there. Boop. And we continue on with our footage. Okay. So that's just one way of doing it. There's also the other lower thirds, which I can add in there. And we'll see how that one plays out. I might have to stretch this food thing. No, I guess it's not gonna let me do it. I can add another one. Sample video, I'll just add another, just to help it go a little bit longer, right? And can I separate that while it's there? Detach, yes, awesome. Get rid of their audio. I don't know what they have. All right, and see, the one I created earlier, sometimes you might have to adjust what you've got on screen. I've had to do this twice now since I put it in there. So you can use, they have custom lower thirds that are in there already, or you can make your own. So let's play this, and boom, you can have it like that too. And then I have another one which I'm going to import for you right now. Actually, you know what? I should have done that with this one here. We'll get rid of this piece of footage, and then we're going to import some more media. So what we're going to do is go back and we're going to get that custom lower thirds that we just completed. All right. This one here. Okay, and then I'm going to drag that down in here. Okay, so what I want to do, and here's another thing, if you want to, I want to get rid of the sound, I just click on it and hit the delete button and it's gone. And then I want that to be butted up against the other one. I don't want any gap in there. So you can click on the black in there and just hit delete and it automatically pulls it back. All right. So this is going to show you the two samples that I've already created. And then it shows you also the lower thirds that's in there. So let's go to full screen on this one. So you go to play it, boom. You can have the thing pop out like so, and you can also do one that pops out like that, however you want to do it. Okay, this is the standard transition ones they have. They have those built in if you want to do that, or you can use your own custom ones. All right, whatever you feel like doing. All right, that wraps up another tutorial. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my tutorials are informative. Please forgive the mistakes. It was kind of a last minute thing. I put out the thumbnail video and then I was like, oh no, you got to finish the other one first so you have something to go to when you mentioned it in the other video, right? So please check out the link below if you're interested in Filmora. It's a one-time fee. I've been using it for about 5 years. I've upgraded every single time they come out with a new version. The product gets better and better. It was already good to begin with. The learning curve on it is like this compared to Adobe and DaVinci Resolve. There's so much to know about those other programs, and they have subscription rates, and they have pro and amateur versions, you know, the free versus paid. And they're great programs. I use them to do special effects. If I do a green screen with a car, yeah, I mean, I like them, but ultimately, if you just need a basic video editor that works and is what I'm editing in right now, I'm going to take the footage off of this cell phone that I'm filming with, and I'm going to turn around and put it in my computer, drop it on the desktop, and edit it, and it'll be ready to go in just a minute. All right? So thanks for stopping by. Check out my other videos and my links, subscribe, share with somebody who might need this information, and I'll see you again. All right? Have a good day. Bye.